good morning, everybody. How are you doing? It's your boy, MarkN MUFC Fan, and you know what it is, guys. It's the daily update, morning news, and Manchester United views. And you know what we're talking about this morning? The next 10 games. And I'm going to give you some information about the players that are surely returning in time for different games. As we know, if we look at the past international 2 weeks, our players who have been on international duty have been performing well. There have been one or two players who have not performed well, but at the end of the day, you know what? The onus is on Manchester United, and it's the Premier League. It is back this weekend, guys. Easter weekend. You know how it is. How are you doing? Hope you're enjoying your morning, sipping your coffee. Manchester United on the brain. And you know what? The next 10 games might sound so far away, but one is on Saturday. We're facing Brentford away. There's a few key issues with that game. We'll talk about that shortly. But let's take this time, smash the likes, subscribe if you're new. And those of you on X, don't be afraid to give me a retweet and give it a like, share it along so everyone, could come and get a chance, see what's happening with the content on this channel. And maybe if they like it, the community grows, guys. Help me do it. I can't do without your help. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into the show. And we are back in action, guys. You know it is. Good morning to you. Big up to you, Stephanie. Hope you're doing well. The MVP of the United World on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. Big up to you, Mental Ball Game. I don't know how you're doing this morning. Hope you're well. If you're gonna come in, let me know. I'll drop the link in a few seconds. Just gonna run right into the story without keeping a delay, so everyone could understand. These are the players that have been tested and analyzed since they've returned from international duties. There are one or two players still to come back, like Garnacho, who should return sometime today. Guys, let's get into this article and see what they have to say. Big up to everyone joining. Manchester United injury update: Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, and Sandro Martinez. Latest news and return dates. Guys, it's been interesting. Eric Ten Hag's injury crisis afflicting Manchester United. The defense has only grown during the international break. Harry Maguire suffered an issue on England international duty to join Luke Shaw, Lissandro Martinez, Terrell Malacia, and Johnny Evans on the sidelines. United returned to action on Saturday night at Brentford. There are few players in contention to return for that trip to the capital, including Casemiro. Harry Maguire, the England defender. Maguire came off with an injury complaint in the second half of the Three Lions' defeat to Brazil on the weekend. United will put him through scans and assess the extent of the unspecified issue after he missed Tuesday's draw with Belgium. But what we are hearing is that the assessment was done yesterday, guys, and it looks like he is in contention to play. So this is just bits of news. Lissandro Martinez is nearing his return to first team action after almost 2 months out. The defender picked up a knee injury against West Ham in February, having already missed much of the season with a foot problem. But Martinez is closing in on a comeback. He was called up for the Argentine squad for the international break, training with his teammates before returning to England. He will now look to prove his fitness, which again I will let you know was assessed yesterday. And guys, you know what that means? He is in contention for starting on Saturday versus Brentford. Luke Shaw has a muscle injury that he suffered in February that has left him out of the race, but he should be fit before the end of the season. I don't expect Luke Shaw to be available this weekend, but you can definitely count him in for the game against Liverpool. Guys, Casemiro is confirmed. We all know that he had an injury scare. He was feeling something in his hamstring, and well, as usual, the United medical staff have not been on their P's or Q's this season. So he had to go to Barcelona, and in going to Barcelona, they found that there was something there. So he was put on rehabilitation for the last few weeks, and he should be in contention to start on Saturday. Guys, what are your thoughts in the comments? Goalkeeper Altai Bender is expected to make a swift return to action. The 25-year-old was ruled out of the Liverpool clash before the international break with an injury, keeping him out of the Turkey's fixtures as well during the break. But the club reported he would only miss around 2 weeks. Bender could therefore be back in contention for the game, like I said, against Brentford as well. But we know he's the backup with Onana doing well. He's probably not going to get a start, but he should be available sitting on the bench just in case anything was to happen. Johnny Evans was absent from the Northern Ireland squad for the games against Romania and Scotland. The United hoping with a 2 week break would enable the defender to return after the internationals. He missed the game versus Liverpool. The vastly experienced centre back has been nursing a minor issue for the past few matches, and consequently, his game time has been carefully managed. It's the best interest of both club and country for him to have a period of rest in order to recover fully. Tyrell Malacia, guys, a lot of people are making fun of this youngster. He's missing. Where's Tyrell? Finding Malacia. I think that those jokes are a little bit too much, guys, because at the end of the day, I feel like, United's medical team is a lot of fault to play in the reason why he has not made an appearance this season. And it's a touching issue. The youngster, he came in last season very energetic, gave a lot. I mean, I would say that he performed really well. He was even likened to to Evra, to the likes of Evra with his performances last season. So I dare not say he's not been good, but he got injured and was out. He had surgery, but they didn't do a proper surgery. So you know what happened? He got injured again. They had to do another one, and now it's jeopardizing his career. Possibly, we don't know. He's also having a little bit of mental issues based on that, probably confidence shot, probably not feeling really good about themselves. And then, these players probably don't 100% stay away from social media. So hearing all the fans talk about him being a missing man in action, maybe on the box of a milk carton or something, it's probably not too good for his mental health at the same time. The left back has been out, and you know what? He's gonna be fighting to get back on the pitch. So maybe if he doesn't make it back this season, hopefully, he heals up well and he works his way back into fitness during preseason and can be available for selection at the start of next season. Anthony Martial, guys, this one for me is one of the things that I'm not too concerned about because, as you know, he's about to leave the club at the end of this season and he is out of contract as well. So, it's just he's on his way out and he's set to be back. He's trying to get himself fit to play one more game in the United shirt. But I'm going to say it now. I think it's one of those things where it's good that he is not part of the squad. But because of his injury issues and the fact that, last season, in my opinion, when he went to Sevilla the season before, we needed him available and he was not there for us. So it was difficult. Big up to you. Let me drop the link, guys, if you want to come in and just give your thoughts because the next 10 games is going to be a rigorous one. At the end of the day, we do face Brentford coming up very soon. I just dropped the link in the comments. So if you guys want to jump in, just come have your say. Let me pull this up right now so you guys could get a look in at the next run of fixtures for Manchester United. It's going to be a difficult task. But you know what? Maybe the players might rise to the occasion, sort of like that Sizzler Kalonji song. You know what I mean? And if you like your reggae like me, it's possible. You never know. Stephanie's coming in. United need to set the bar high with the next 10 PL games, aim to win 8 of them, and obviously win potential 2 remaining cup matches to lift another trophy. So 10 wins to secure Ten Hag's job. Big up to you, Steph. I'm thinking about the same thing. Rah, bare injuries, even to people not playing. 100% Vegeta. And you know what? It's hard to just blame this on a manager. Maybe we should be looking more into the medical department and the facilitations at the club because those things, it's just not working out. These injuries are just becoming more and more prevalent. And, in one way, it's a wonder how is it happening. Like these are professional athletes. They're supposed to be at their peak. How could they be getting injured so easily? You know what I mean? 100. Stephanie, Manj is not here this morning. You know what I'm saying? Big up, big up. Welcome, Vachita. What's going on, my brother? How are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, bro. I'm alright, man. Jeez, man, all of these injuries are just really worrying. And yesterday I wanted to say when we are talking about transfers that instead of focusing on getting a new manager, they should be focusing on getting a new medical department because what the hell, bro? This is getting out
100%.
of hand.
Bro, like, I look at this season, man, and I mean, I want to criticize Ten Hag for some of the games because I didn't like some of the substitutions. Of course, no one wants to see Scott McTominay start. I would happily see him come on as a substitute in any game, but it's just weird. But then when you look at the different injuries for the different positions at different stages in different games, it's no wonder we didn't have much consistency.
Mm.
And I'm like, maybe we should just fire everyone in the medical department because maybe that, we got the, I don't know, the ones who got their accreditation from a milk carton or something, or maybe a
Y-
Kellogg's cereal box. I
But you know
don't
what's
know.
funny? But you know what's funny, Mark? I think recently we got one of the medical guys from Arsenal, and one of my friends, he's an Arsenal fan, and he was saying that that guy was there during their period when they were having like a hell a lot of injuries. So it doesn't seem like a coincidence to me that this guy joins our team and all of a sudden people are falling like flies. Somebody needs to get rid of that guy. We don't need him around.
And you're talking about Gary O'Driscoll, right? I mean, for me, when I looked at Arsenal 2 seasons ago, they were a squad with dealing with a lot of injuries. And it's not surprising that when you hear that they changed their squad and they added a new medical department with, new science, new different facets of, you know, medical and sports science and technology and different approaches that their team has been mostly fit all season. I mean, I think hiring Neil O'Driscoll was good. Maybe he has great experience. I used to always think that maybe it's the members of the staff that we also need to change. It's the same thing with some of the coaches. I think at like, finally we got rid of that set piece coach who, we couldn't score set piece goals. As soon as he leaves the club, we started scoring set piece goals. So for me, you know what I mean? I think it's one on one, and you put it together and you get two, and it's an equal sign. So basically, I think we should be moving. We should be looking to focus on getting the best in class in medical proficiency from around Europe and the world before the start of preseason. Mental, how you doing, bro?
Morning, mate. Morning, Vegeta. All good, man. All good. Yeah, I agree that we need an overhaul of the medical department, but we also have to look at the bigger picture, right? Medical department gets involved once a player is injured. We need to find out why the players are getting injured first. So I think we need to look at the training methods and training pitches and everything as a whole, not just the medical department, because the medical department would be looking after the players that are actually injured. There will be a special recovery department as well. I assume there will be some recovery coaches who are managing players recovery after the matches, so
Mm.
maybe they're not doing the recovery properly, that's why the players are getting injured. So I think it needs to be looked at from a overall perspective, everything that's happening with player welfare, and we need to do an overhaul of all of that, not just the medical department, not just the physios and stuff.
Yeah, no, I
You're on
agree.
mute, Mark.
I'm just thinking about when I watched the All or Nothing for the what is it City team, and one of the things that you notice is that when Pep came in, he looked at all of the players' nutrition, the training that they had before he joined, and if you look at like Nasri, he didn't stick to the plan that not sorry, that Pep set for him, and he ended up putting on some weight, and then Pep got rid of him. So, maybe it's also a combination of players not sticking to what they're supposed to be doing. So yeah, you could be right. It could be a multiple a magnitude of a lot of things, but also it's just worrying that when we've got people like Malaysia getting injured, that they get re-injured right after we're trying to fix them. That's also very very concerning.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely,
like for
definitely. Yeah.
me, one of the things I look at is ever since Sir Alex time, the philosophy was train how you play, right? And it's going to be intense. There might be a risk of an injury here or there, but at the same time, I feel like the majority of the squad hasn't been training at a level that would keep them in peak fitness personally. because at the end of the day, they have to work on themselves as well. I will also blame the medical staff. I will also look at the coaching, just like Mental Ball Game was saying earlier. But I also feel like there's something wrong with with lots of different parts of the situation, right? And we could say all of these things, like we need to look at what their training regiment is, the time they're training, all of these things. But at the same time, I feel like some of these, the onus has to go on the players, because they have to take better care of themselves, make sure they're getting the right amount of rest. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these players, they be doing a hell of a lot of things. They go out to like art shows, festivals, and parties, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that they should not, but I'm saying at the same time, it's a rigorous season, especially in September and stuff like that, when there's lots of games, 3 games per week, because of Europe and the different beginnings of some cups, something stuff like that. So there's a lot to take in about that, but I'm really focusing on going forward into what is happening with the next 10 games, because at the same time, I am really positive about the next 10 games. I think we have a lot more winnable games than we have games that we might lose. I feel like, there's a tough situation. We're going to face Liverpool in the next week, and that's going to be a difficult game, but we're at home. Maybe we could get a better result than we had the last time. Even though we win, maybe could win with maybe more than one goal this time. You never know what could happen. I feel like there's I feel like this run of fixtures places the onus on the United players, because if they step up to the plate, I mean, who's to say that we're not going to beat Chelsea, Bournemouth, Coventry, Sheffield, you know what I mean, and Brentford on Saturday.
No, I agree with you. I think there is optimism going into the last 10 games, but I feel that the fans are getting overly optimistic. We shouldn't forget that this team struggles to be consistent. This team
Yep.
hasn't had a run of games where you can say, oh, yeah, I'm confident going into this game that we're going to win this one because we won the last one. What we do is we win one big game and then we falter in the next one. So unless we see some level of consistency from this team, I'm not going to be overly optimistic. And comparing the fixtures with Spurs and Villa, who we are trying to catch for the Champions League places, I don't think there's that much difference between the fixtures. Villa might be a bit more difficult than us and Spurs, but I think it's pretty similar. All of us have got at least three really tough games and then two semi difficult games. So I think there's 5 games where we can potentially slip up, which you would call against a big team. But the problem with this team is that
Which are
this
those
team,
5 games, if you don't mind mentioning
one
them?
is, I think there's Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton, and Newcastle. Those are the 5 ones I would consider like difficult, semi-difficult, right?
Newcastle has
Chelsea,
lost the
really?
last 9 games.
Chelsea.
Yeah, we struggle against Chelsea, man. It was only under Ole's reign that we used to beat Chelsea regularly.
I mean,
If
Ten Hag beat Chelsea twice in the last 3 games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
So it's so it's so, and the only other time we didn't beat them, we drew, and that was because they got a penalty. So and we
Yeah,
got a player
exactly.
sent off. So in my opinion, I feel like Ten Hag's record against Chelsea says that he's going to win that game. We've won, and we won the fixture at Stamford Bridge. So it's one of those things for me where, yeah, I know it's a bit positive, but if you look at Chelsea and Newcastle, they have not been in great form, especially in the last few games. Chelsea has a terrible form against Ten Hag, if you look at that stat, right? But Newcastle, they have been losing to everyone, right? In the last few games, they are also an injury-ridden team, and I just feel like they're gonna capitulate. I mean, at the end of the day, they finished in fourth behind United last season. And we won the Carabao Cup ahead of them last season as well. And I feel like the game where we played them early on this season was more of the players' fault than, just like you're saying, they should have won the game. They didn't turn up. You know what I mean? Same thing with the Bournemouth game. But in the reality and grand scheme of things, with the current performances that we have and the players that are returning to the squad, like Alessandro Martinez slotting into defense, That makes us a lot stronger than we were when we faced Liverpool. And you have Hoyland coming back with more game time, so he's more match fit. I think you cannot take away the scoring run that he went on in the Premier League games. He's still on it. Seven in 6 games, he scored 7 goals, and I think he's going to extend that run on Saturday. And if he could keep that up, that's going to build momentum for him. Garnacho's performances in the last few games have been nothing short of impressive. He's probably been the spark, the most dangerous player going forward in the last few games for United, and I feel you can't discredit that. I mean, everyone wants to pay 90 million for this defender guy. What's his name? Branthwaite from Everton. And Garnacho had him on roller
70
skates
million,
like
I think.
7, 8 times during the
Yeah, he
game.
was.
He literally
Yeah.
gave up a penalty. He should have gave up a handball. And in my opinion, he should have been sent off. And I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm saying look at what our attack has been doing to defenses and players who everyone is raving about all season. And as you said earlier, like we haven't been really consistent, but the one thing I would argue with that is there are 2 months in this that make an argument for that. In October, we were the team of the month, right? We won 6 games and drew 1 out of 7, and we had most of the full squad back before some of them got injured, before Martinez got re-injured, right? And
Hmm.
if you look at the month of January, we were also team of the month of January, where we won 11. We played 11 and we won 9, drew 1, and lost 1, right? And we had most of our players back. That was right before Martinez, got that when Kufal dropped himself on Martinez and injured him. You know what I mean? So, in a sense, I'm looking at it from the perspective that, when we had a stronger squad twice this season, we went on a 4 to 5 game winning streak. And it's not hard to say that, if you maybe the Liverpool game is a banana skin, right? But we have Brentford on the weekend. Then we have Chelsea, which is supposed to be right midweek on Thursday, right? Those are 2 games I see. If we were to take points from those 2 games, the momentum would probably propel us into a result against Liverpool more than we were anticipating after the win in the FA Cup. I think we dropped the ball at Bournemouth, but I don't see Bournemouth putting in another performance where they beat United 3-0. I think 2 of the goals was kind of lucky. The strikes was like like a wonder goal basically for one of the strikes. And like I said, like maybe, they beat us then, but we could still, in the form we are in and our offense creating a lot more chances and being a lot more clinical since the start of the new year, I think that spells more of a potential for United to win games like the Newcastle, the Bournemouth, and the Chelsea game. So if you leave Liverpool out, you leave Arsenal out and Brighton, because Arsenal is the second to last game of the season. Brighton is the last game, right? So if you think about it, we have 7 games that don't involve the teams that really are probable to beat us, if you understand what I'm saying.
No, I agree. I agree with your optimism, but knowing that this team's history, I'm just not getting carried away at the moment. I think after the Brentford and Chelsea game, we can have a reassessment. If we perform in those 2 games and we get the points in those 2 games, then I'll be a lot more optimistic. But knowing these two, the history of this team, I'm not overly optimistic. But considering that Licha is coming back, I think we will hopefully see some consistency in this team because Licha is like a born leader. I mean, he's a natural leader, and he enables Ten Hag to play his system and play the high line that he wants to play. So hopefully we'll get that consistency now that Licha's back.
Can I be honest? I'm not worried too much about the big teams because it seems like whenever there's a big game, our guys tend to be up for it. Case in point, the Liverpool match. It's more when the smaller teams come into town or we're going to their backyard that we seem to not be as up for the game. And that's how we end up with those 3-0 losses. I don't think it's a lack of ability. It's just the mentality seems to drop for whatever reason in those games.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
I'm more
think
afraid
so.
of like playing a Brentford at home than I am playing, I mean, sorry, away, than I am playing Liverpool at home. You know,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Exactly. But again,
Mark, I think the most likely we might drop points is against Liverpool. I think we may not beat Liverpool this time. I feel it's going to be a draw.
Mm.
Brentford and Chelsea, we should just maybe just edge a win, because as Brentford will be fighting for their Premier League status, and Chelsea would be also fighting to even aim for Europe. Bournemouth should be Bournemouth is like, I'm not sure exactly, because the last time we played them, it was our worst performance against them. Sheffield United, hope so, because they are like another team that they are also fighting for their Premier League status. Arsenal are fighting for the title. So yeah, I really hear it from that mental ball game. Yeah, I think it's time to get back to trying. It's about getting back to reality, and just maybe take like one game at a time for now.
I
It'll
mean,
be nice to do that.
yeah, I mean, with the whole history thing, if we're considering history at the turn of the new year, we have won more games than we've lost games consistently. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
yeah.
it like that. So, in the sense that, yeah, I know what you feel, man, because like when I wasn't able to watch the Brentford game live, the Bournemouth game live, and we lost 3-0. I was like, what? That's mad. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You know, so yeah, it was just one of those weird things. But Sheffield, I don't even think in a fight to stay up in the Premier League, they're gonna beat United, bro. I think they've been off
Nah.
god awful this season, and they're
You
definitely
never
gonna
know.
get
They might
And I
smashed.
think,
probably they,
and I
they,
think,
they might fight for it though. I think Sheffield United might just try to fight for it, but
I
we
think,
should beat regardless. Yeah, yeah. Go for it. Go for it,
I
Vijay.
think by the time we play Sheffield United, they'll probably be relegated already.
Mm, mm,
Possibly, possibly.
possible. To be honest, we should be playing these games as if we're fighting for the FA Cup in the league, because that's the only way we get through
A
these
hundred
games.
percent,
In
hundred
all
percent.
honesty,
We have to gain momentum for sure.
yeah, that's the only way I see us winning these games. Chelsea, I don't see them doing nothing, bro. Those guys could be up for it and still lose. Their
Yeah,
their,
yeah.
their club is all over the place right now. Chelsea's the least of my problems.
No,
But
but that makes them even more dangerous, Vegeta, right? They are the most
nah,
unpredictable team.
nah,
You
not
don't know what
honest.
they're going to bring on the day, right?
Nah, I'm not gonna
Nah,
be
bro.
honest.
I hear you, right? I hear you with that, right? But look at it like this, right? I mean, I'm not trying to put Chelsea down because I would never do that. Like I always said in streams that, Chelsea was never a team that I considered to do well this season, in the sense that in the way people think they would do. I was like, they have a lot of talent they brought in, but these guys, they never played together. There's no team chemistry there. There's no way you're gonna get team chemistry in 6 months.
No,
People
I
try to
get that.
use
I
Ange as
get
an
that, Mark.
example,
Got
but
you.
Ange is not a good example because Ange has a squad majorly made up of players who've been playing together for the last 27 months, and that's before the season started, right?
And also, and
So
yeah,
when you have a team of players, whether they're fringe or not, but they've been training together for more than a year or two, they know each other very well. So when you're adapting a new system, it also helps. Chelsea didn't help themselves firing Graham Potter. To be fair, I don't rate him as a coach, but at the same time, I feel like when you bring together a bunch of young players who have no experience playing together, no experience in the league, some of them just coming into the league for the first time in a new country, it's always going to be an uphill battle. But I would also rate the fact that they're good enough to be finishing ahead of teams like, currently they're ahead of Brentford and stuff like that. And those are teams that people say are doing well. And Chelsea, for me, with what they've done, they're doing okay because they're mid-table. If they were at the bottom of the table, then you would say that the squad is probably not good, the coaching is probably terrible. But to get to where they are, beating teams who've been playing together for like more than 2 seasons, that's a task, guys.
No,
yeah,
I agree with whatever you're saying, Mark, but this is a Chelsea team that Man City has failed to beat this season in both their matches, and Liverpool needed a last minute header to beat them. So we can't really discount them as, oh yeah, we're definitely going to beat Chelsea.
Yeah, but
but
we beat Chelsea this season, right?
can I be honest? I think sometimes we also, because we watch this league so much, we over kind of hype this league a little bit. I feel like even the top teams in this league are not at their best themselves. So
Me
it's
too.
not
Yeah,
it's not
true.
surprising when they're canceling each other out. Honestly, so I don't think that's a good metric to measure them by. And we often speak about how outside of the pitch things affect United. That's also affecting Chelsea. All of the shenanigans that's happening at their club, the current leadership is just as bad, if not worse, as the Glazers
Was
were for us. So all of those things. That's why I'm like Chelsea's got its own problems to deal with. That's why I'm not really as afraid of them as perhaps like a Brentford, because Brentford is fighting for their lives. And I've seen season in, season out, when a team is fighting for their lives, we can't afford to show up as we're Man United, we're gonna beat them. No, we have to turn up as if it's Liverpool final, we have to beat them type of a
FA Cup final for
mentality.
sure. Yeah, we have to turn up.
Hundred
Yeah.
percent, 100%. And I like how you said that there because at the same time, like, look, how I look at it is like this, right? We have teams like Crystal Palace, Burnley, Sheffield, we have Brentford, we have Chelsea, Bournemouth, and Newcastle, right? I feel like we have really three games out of the 10 that are banana skins, and that's Liverpool, Arsenal, and honestly Brighton, right? I feel like Brighton has become our bogey team, but I dare not say that they're going to beat us for sure. But at the same time, I look at it like, listen,
Oh yeah,
the
Mark. I
seven,
actually forgotten about Brighton as well. Yeah, you're
well,
right.
it's
They've
the
been
last game
our
of the
bogey
season,
team as
so
well. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
I'm not too stressed about it. Like I'm not too stressed about the Arsenal game because I'm more concerned about the first eight really. Because look at it like this: if we could win these next two games, we get a draw against Liverpool. That's a good momentum. Then we have these six games after that, which is Bournemouth, Newcastle, Coventry, Sheffield, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. And I would favor us to at least win five of those six.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe the Newcastle game might be a difficult game, but it's at home. And the games at
Mark,
home,
Mark, is the Newcastle game got a game against Newcastle got like postponed or something?
yeah, it got postponed, but it's gonna probably reshuffle back into a midweek. They're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
give
yeah.
2 weeks
Oh yeah,
where
Mark, because we
they're
are. Oh yeah,
midweek
because we are
games
playing in the semi-final. Yeah, yeah,
of
FA
the
Cup.
FA
Yeah,
Cup.
I forgot. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why the FA Cup game was the same weekend as that game. So that's why it get
Mhm.
rescheduled. But it's like if you look at if you break it down a little bit, you leave Liverpool aside, you leave the last two games aside, which is Arsenal and Brighton. It's like GB is saying it for me. I don't even have to say it again. Newcastle seem like they throw in the towel for the season already because when you look at their performance, if they have been like even worse than Burnley. Like I feel sorry for Burnley in some games. I feel like they play well, but then they
Yeah, they
concede
played
a
well
goal
actually.
and then they
Yeah,
capitulate. Newcastle has
yeah,
just
that's
been
true.
giving everyone the chance to walk through them for the last few games,
It's another manager that got overhyped in this league, to be honest, and
bro.
he's being found out now.
Everybody was like Eddie Howe is better than Ten Hag. I don't know. I don't know
Crack.
what they were seeing,
It's
man.
crack. Nah, bro, 2024 is the year of people's truths being revealed. I mean, De Zerbi, I hope we beat Brighton so that we can stop that De Zerbi stuff, because I don't think that guy is good
Yeah,
enough
I
to
know.
manage at United either. They just need to relax.
Bro, the hype on the Zerbi was unreal. I'm not saying
It's
he's not a
unreal.
good
Yeah.
coach, but look at it. Look at the things that he has in his favor. He came into a club that is on their trajectory on a steep upwards trajectory, right? The
Yep,
club has profile for profile players for the system that they've been implementing for the last 7 seasons, right?
yep.
I know they will sell players, but this is why you have a system and you have profiles and you recruit profiles for that system. So the excuse that he doesn't have anything in on the bench doesn't exist really for De Zerbi because De Zerbi is Brighton. If you look at Brighton's team, they have three profiles for each position on the squad. They just haven't been performing well. And I don't know if it's because they're too open at the back, but De Zerbi concedes a hell of a lot of goals. He's of the 69 matches he's played since being Brighton's manager, he's lost a whopping 42.
Yeah, and
Man,
that's
they
why.
say. Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead, man.
sorry. That's
Go
what I was
ahead,
gonna
man.
say. I don't. I was gonna say that's why coaches like De Zerbi, although they play nice football, they're not championship winning coaches, because you win a tournament or a competition with defense, not just all out attacking. And the amount of goals he's leaking, I'm just like, no, he's not the guy for the job. With
Yeah,
all
he's not.
honesty.
So
Yeah, and I think when people start praising these managers, right, they don't take into account the whole situation. People were waxing lyrical about De Zerbi because he was winning with Brighton last season. Brighton were
Yeah,
only playing Premier League. This year, when they have Europa League to manage with the Premier League, you can see that they're tired. Thursday, Sunday is not easy to do. No one recognizes what Ten Hag was doing last season. We were playing a match every 3 days last season.
For
We had
3
exactly.
so
days.
many off field issues that he was managing. They don't realize what the manager is handling, how many times the team is playing. They just see, oh, a team is playing well, that coach must be good. It's very easy playing one game a week when you have all your squad available, all your 11 players fit. It's the same happening with Ange right now. He doesn't have any Europe to deal with right now. If Tottenham manage to get into Europe, and if they especially get into Europa League where he has to manage Thursday, Sunday, then we'll actually find out how good a coach he is.
100%. You know, like it's surprising for me when you look at the league and you look at the different teams and how they're performing, right? Brighton at this point last season was in fifth, competing for top four, and they're currently what in ninth this season. You know, Chelsea is pretty much in a higher position than they were last season because this time last season they were in 16th, and now they're in 11th,
Damn.
right?
They were in 15. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So
Damn.
yeah,
you know I look at
that's crazy.
I look at the performances and I'm like, you know, we are having a bad season, right? I'm not going to say terrible, I'm going to say bad,
Bad
because
season for
we're in
sure.
sixth, performing not performing great all season. If you generally look at it, we've been good in some games and bad in some games, but we're in sixth and we're 6 points off top four. And
Hmm.
the funny thing, right, guys, is the April month.
Yep.
Next week. Next
Crunch
week
month.
begins a period of time where I don't know if it was preordained by God, by the football gods, or whoever, but United has 6 games in the next 6 weeks. And in those 6 weeks, Aston Villa plays Liverpool. They play Chelsea. They play they play Man City.
That's like,
They play Arsenal.
yeah,
And then they play Brighton, right?
Mm.
That is the next 6 games for Aston Villa.
And
that's
Four of
Spurs not
those
crazy.
easy
games
either.
are away,
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah,
right?
they haven't playing City. They haven't playing
S-
City as well.
So this is why
Yeah,
I've been saying my optimism is purely based on the fact that I look at the next 6 games as if we could maintain a momentum, whether it be scraping a victory against
all in our
Liverpool
hands.
or winning the next 2 3 games on the bounce. Whether we do it, however we do it, if we can do it, it not only heaps pressure on every single team above us, and I'm talking about the 5 teams, right? But it also lifts pressure off of United, because if we were to win, let's just say 5 out of the next 6, let's say we lose to Liverpool, right? I'm just saying, but we win 5 games, right? That's 15 points, right? And let's just say for some odd reason Tottenham draws 2 games and they lose 2 games, they lose the 3 games. We are 6 points ahead of Tottenham.
Mm.
We will be 3 points ahead of Aston Villa. And never forget, we have a game in hand.
No, no, I agree with you, Mark. And on top of that, the thing about April and May is that it's the business end, it's the pressure season, and I think it's easy to do it when you know you've got like 20 games left in the season to still make up the points. It's a different beast altogether when you see your opponents coming behind you, and you've got like 5 games left and you've never been here. Case in point, I think Aston Villa's bums will go, in my opinion. I don't think those players, just like with Arsenal last year, I don't think they've felt this level of pressure when you're at the business end of things and you now
True.
have to deliver. This is different. It's completely different. Whereas we're completely different. We've had seasons where we're not performing well, and then from nowhere towards the end, we kind of show up.
Manchester United DNA, my bro. It's one of the things that I love this club for. When it comes to the business end, the last 10, somehow, for some way, these guys usually turn up. I think last season we turned up after Christmas, and then the last 5 games we didn't do so well. But normally it's the other way around. Normally we end the season on a high note, and it's just been the tradition of Manchester United all the years I've been a fan. So I just look at it like this is the important time for us. This is the time when the players really turn up and usually turn up and say, you know what, we are here. And we get Rasmus Hoyland back, and I've been betting a lot of my cards on Rasmus this season because I feel like he has so much to offer the team. He's got a very, very good work rate, work ethic. He's very driven. You can see the passion, and he's got ability. And I think it's infecting the forward line because as much as I am very critical of Rashford, when he plays next to Hoyland, the few games he's been playing next to him, he seems to be playing with a little bit of a little bit of aggression about him. Like he needs to show up, he needs to do something. So he usually starts the game well. You know, if you notice that the game when Hoyland wasn't there was the games when he didn't perform all that great. But when Hoyland is there, he's always trying to do something. And then Garnacho has been literally like that spark, sort of like reminiscent of the Ronaldo when he was here in his first and second season. When he's on the ball, you always feel like something is going to happen. And I'm not trying to say Garnacho is at that level. I'm just trying to say that you just get a feeling like, yo, something could happen. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Who's to say that, Ahmad, he scored a very good goal at the end of the game. He's banned for the game against Brentford, but he's back against Chelsea. If he gets some minutes, he's going to be confident. The team is confident. He's probably going to get some chances. So Anthony scored a goal as well. He had a very good opportunity, so I think Anthony might be big. And, in my opinion, he's one of the players on the team like Leacher, a mentality monster, one of those guys that comes out on the pitch with that energy, like I'm gonna win every single time. So I just look at that and I say, like, listen, we have a good situation that's forming around us. So if we could focus on what we have in front of us and do our job for the month of April, let's just say we come away maybe 4 wins or 5 wins out of 6. I think we could see ourselves in and around the top 4 in terms of level on points with the two teams above us.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah, I would say probably I'd say minimum between around 70 to 72 points. We should be able to get top four.
No facts.
One thing we need to work on is when we get the chance against one of these lesser teams, we need to
Yeah,
work on our goal difference as well,
Yep.
because it might come down
100%,
eventually
100%.
to the goal difference who gets the top spot. So
Mm.
we
Yeah.
are way behind. I mean, it's very unlikely that we'll catch up with Spurs or Villa because they're 17, 18 goals ahead at the moment in terms of goal difference. But you never know. I mean, if we win 2-0 and they lose 2-0, that's a swing of 4 goals. So it is possible, but it's something that we should be focusing on because that might come into consideration come the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think another thing with the forward line, I was watching the England team practice, and the one thing that worries me about Rashford is that I think he does this thing on purpose where people will be open, and instead of like crossing it or passing it, he'll still try to score it himself. He's still young enough to get that out of his game because you don't always have to be the hero. It's a team sport, bro. But besides that, I think what Rasmus, because you alluded to him, needs is wingers that can cross. So maybe United should call up Beckham and teach these guys how to bend it like him, because the crossing at this team is garbage.
100%. Will, big up to you, my brother. How are you doing, bro?
Yeah,
Hope
well,
you're
how are you doing, man?
well. And I know you're coming in saying incoming Todibo, 40 million price tag. He's definitely coming to United. And now we can finally ease our minds on Southgate to
Oh,
Liverpool.
Southgate to Liverpool. Let the streets know. Let the streets know.
Please
Please
make
Bro,
it
make
the
it
truth.
happen, bro. Make it happen, man.
let the
Make it
streets
happen.
know,
Exactly.
right? Let me just pull up the article really quick so everyone can see the picture so they know it's not just a joke that we're talking about. Because you
No
know what?
way.
Even when I saw that, I was like, what? I was like,
Exactly.
this is not real. You know what I mean? This
Oh,
is
I
not
know.
real.
Yeah, yeah, I know which one are you talking about.
I
Will
was like, I just saw
Will
the picture and I'm like, what?
Will has instantly raised the temperature in the room. He's raised the morale of everyone here, saying Southgate to Liverpool.
I mean, but it's true. Like I saw the article somewhere this morning. I was looking at some stuff and I was like, what? This is
If
not
that
real.
happens, I'll be there no matter what. Oh, I'll be there to
Was
go
it on
from
Twitter? Did I see it on Twitter? I
Mr.
gotta
Hype
find that
Man to
now, bro.
Mr.
Swear.
Waistcoat. Oh, I love it. Waistcoat
Can
FC
you
Liverpool.
imagine Southgate beating his chest next year at Anfield?
Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro. That is crazy, bro. That is insane. Look at here. Look the article here, fellas. Look the
Share the
article
screen.
here.
Yeah, yeah, go for it. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Is it one football? Oh, that's
One
real then.
football, bro. Big up, bro. Big up, Will.
Damn.
Who is this X-Red? Who is this X-Red who's saying this?
X-rated charts. What's up with
Uh,
all of these former legends for these clubs? I swear they hate the football clubs with all of
Has
For
to
real,
be,
for
bro.
real, for
recommendations.
real,
Scouts
for
Gate.
real.
The Scouts Gate is about. Let's pray for the Scouts Gate, guys, because you know what? Liverpool will probably never win a title for the next 20 seasons, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's
And I
mad.
will
I wouldn't
love
even
it.
wish that on them, to
I
be
would
fair.
love
It's
that.
just funny to look at that statement. I mean,
No,
everyone
Mark,
is
what do you mean,
laughing at
bro?
us for the last 2 weeks,
Mark,
but
you're lucky this
this
is
is
your show.
insane,
What did you just say, bro? That was unbinnable. They must not win for the next 20 years. I'll be there, no matter what.
bro.
I will troll my wife until we go to our graves, you know?
Oh,
Bro, listen. I don't think you want to do something like that. That might be a little bit bad, bro. That could end bad for you. But hopefully it doesn't. But you know what? Trolling Liverpool fans right now is gonna become the thing. I think I'm gonna send this to all my Liverpool friends in Trinidad. They're about to wake up in like half an hour for work. So I'll be sending that to them
You
this
want
morning,
people
and I'll
to
be
start
like, "Good
crying in
morning,
their
hope you're
cars.
well."
People gonna
Hmm?
start crying in their cars, man. They're gonna start crashing their cars on their way to work. Do that. Don't worry about me, guys. Me, I've got a nice, comfortable couch here that to sleep on. The trolling is over.
Nah, man, Lutata. One thing I can assure you with incoming of if Southgate that we will never again embarrassingly get trashed by City and Liverpool. Nah,
come
man.
on, man.
Nah,
Time this
man.
guy out. That guy deserves a
Bro.
timeout for that
Man,
comment. What kind of
Man,
I'm a
look.
boy. I'm a boy. I'm a boy. I can't do that. I can't do that. But at the same
Nah,
time,
he's fine. He's
I would
fine.
say
Yeah.
to him this, right? Bruv, listen, sometimes he's losing, oh, bro, in football. Like, I see Madrid get five. You know what I mean? I see Barcelona whole eight.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
In real time, whole eight. So for me, and that's a big Barcelona team, bro. I see Barcelona, bro, get destroyed from Bayern Munich and things. So it's like for me, losing a game big, yeah, it will hurt, but bro, it's just 3 points. You know what I mean? And sometimes it happens, and you know, every dog does have their day, and maybe one day you never know. We have Liverpool again at home. What if we smash Liverpool 5-1 or something on next week Saturday? You know what happening then? What people go and say? Ten Hag in? I don't
what
know.
I know is that the
Oh yeah,
Scousers will be
they will
hiding.
push.
They will go into hiding.
Bro, they will have to go into hiding. It's one of those things. You know what I mean? I don't know about you guys, but if you're not busy, maybe tomorrow morning if you have time, or maybe tonight if you guys are available, like around 10 p.m. UK time. You know, I would like to do a preview for the Manchester United Brentford game. You know, I just wanted to highlight this article again from yesterday because I don't know if a lot of fans who travel to games not know about it, but there's a lot of issues with the train transport based on because of engineering repairs. So the last train that leaves from Brentford basically leaves a minute before the game starts. So it's going to be a lot of difficulty, and there's no direct trains back to Manchester on Sunday. So it's going to be difficult for traveling away fans. And you know what? United is definitely going to need the support of the fan base. So it's one of those things where, I would hope that everyone, finds who goes to away games. Maybe you try to carpool, or hopefully Manchester United sees these news, and which they usually do, but they hire extra buses. But I know a bus journey as opposed to a train doubles the hour, and that's like maybe 6 hours on a bus as opposed to just three on a train. Guys, big up to all of you. Any last words from any one of you based on how you feel about the next round of games? I know we have not all totally agreed on it, but you know what? It's one of those things where everyone has their opinion. It's football.
Yeah, I just
I
want to go
feel.
ahead.
I think let's just say. I think let's just go like. Let's go like one game at a time, and let's just create ourselves a very very huge momentum to potentially allow us to go for the FA Cup final, and you never know, we might actually win another trophy this season as well. You never
Mm,
know.
Nah, I agree. I think it's going to be interesting. I do think that Spurs and us and Aston Villa should not be too overly confident. It's bum time. I think United can push now with all of these guys coming back in. By the way, the ex Liverpool raid was apparently Glenn Johnson, crackhead, but I hope it happens.
Manu
um,
Tata said Southgate and Man United will play football at my advice. Manchester United.
but no, no, I
Manu
think
Tata. Manu Tata. And my advice.
No,
Bro,
no, no, no. But if you've got a minute, Mark, pull up that reaction video from Lisandro when Ahmad scored. Have you seen that?
no, I haven't seen
That's
it.
the passion we're getting back. So that's what we
Let me
can
let me see if
expect.
I could find that.
they
Find
don't have
find
passion. They don't have.
AD ADMUFC 99. That's the user who's got it on his Twitter.
On
Oh
Twitter.
wow.
Hold on,
Six
let me
six.
pull up
Yeah,
X then. 1 second. AD 29.
ADMUFC 99.
Alright, hold on.
That reaction, man, that tells you everything what we are getting back. He looks like a caged lion in that reaction. Like he can't wait to get out there.
Hey, that's passion. That is passion. And that's what the boys need from the fans between now and the end of the
Wait,
season, to be
Vegeta, you
honest.
found it already?
Yeah, broski.
Still
Wow,
looking for this.
I'm on my phone at the same time.
Oh, you wanna drop the link in the comments? So and I'll just pull it up.
Alrighty, let me do that for you.
Oh,
Got you, bro. It's funny. Oh, what the heck?
There you go as well. I've put it there as well.
Nice. Lisandro Martinez, man, that guy. He's the unofficial official captain. That guy.
I mean, bro, it all if for me how I always look at it, right? If you look at the best United teams, we always had certain characters in and amongst the squad. Whether it was a defender who was like a bruiser, and that's why it's called type of players like Lisandro Martinez. Not taking away from his ability to play on the ball and stuff, but they have that kind of vicious energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we always had a strong midfielder. We always had a very clinical striker. Having these certain characters that reminisce from the past best United teams, I feel like this is what Manchester United is about. This is what he bring to the team. He bring that sense of nostalgia back. You know what I mean? So it's like it's real good to have and it's always good to have multiple leaders in the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 definitely. I don't know if the link is popping up for you, but yeah, you
Yeah,
should check
I know.
that out.
I see
That's
it.
it's a
I've put
lot.
it on your private chat as well, Mark, to see if that
Big up,
opens up
mental.
for
I
you.
just get it there. All right, so I'm gonna share this real quick so we could see what's going on here. Rumble. That is an absolute steal.
Maybe mute it, man. Mute it.
Look at look at this
Oh
guy.
yeah, yeah. I can see him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, yeah. That's him. That's him. That's wow.
Proper looks like a caged lion who wants to get out there and eat a
Yeah,
defendant,
yeah, exactly,
eat an
bro.
opponent. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
amazing,
a
man.
big win there, guys. To be fair, like you want to know, like in all fairness, guys, that win, nothing beating that win this season. You know what I mean? Garnacho had a good bicycle this season, and on top of that, we win a game late. We have a few good moments this season that we could be proud of. You know what I mean? And at the same time, we have moments that we won't be proud of. And at the end of the day, I think that's just Man United for you. And we hoping that they would come to a term where we get more consistent performances that we could be proud of. And if we could finish this season strong, grab top four, finish top five, bro. Play in the FA Cup final, win, lose or draw. I take in that as a United fan because, in my opinion, we weren't seeming like a team like that 2, 3 seasons ago. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you know,
Nice.
Will, I'm super positive, bro. But I liking this energy. That's a little bit above me right now. Imagine down the line, Ten Hag going into such trouble. Bruv. I already have a United tattoo. If Ten Hag going into such trouble, bro, trust me. I want to do. You want to put add to that tattoo. Trust, trust. Big up to
Mhm.
everyone joining us, guys. You know how it is. It's your boy MarkN MUFC fan. Big up to Vegeta Sama coming in, Mental Ball Game,
Mm.
and Kenny Fan TV. Don't forget
Reckless
to
is live.
smash the likes and subscribe. Check out Mental Ball Games channel if you guys. You could go there anonymously and just have a conversation. He's all about the mental health, and I know he will talk to you guys about that. And Kenny Fan TV, he's the funny guy, man. The match reactions, man. He reacts to everyone's reaction. You gotta check him out. He's got the funny moments. And you know what? I think he's about ready to hop on to the reckless delegation and make sure your battery is charged, bro. Yesterday you came in with the Red Bull. Have it
Yes.
again
Indeed.
today. You know what I mean? Big up, bro.
Big
Vegeta,
advice. Big
anytime you
advice.
want to come in, bro, it's always welcome. Anyone want to come in and have their say. Tonight is a call-in show. Everyone could come in while we do the review, so everyone could have their say when we look at the possible starting lineups as we get ready to face Brentford on Saturday. Big up to everyone watching you. Glory, glory, Manchester United. You know what it is, guys. Smash the likes and subscribe. Those of you on Twitter, don't forget to share, retweet along. And guys, we'll catch you all later. Bye for now.
Later.
Peace.